But the penthouse is on the top floor, the roof, so his basement would be second to last floor if you want to be technical, detective. The point is, we don't need to go into the kitchen or the parlour. We'll go straight back to his workshop and then head downstairs. The kitchen and the parlour. The kitchen and the parlour. That is an odd multiple rooms for a poisoning. It really kind of feels like there is a lot of blood and signs of a struggle in the two rooms, but how would that appear to be suicide? Because if he committed suicide by other methods, surely you would say that he did that, and not obfuscate and lie for no reason. Because when you're telling a lie like this, you've got to stick as close to the truth as possible, because any little thing that disproves it, you need to be able to explain away. So, like, for example, if you go out and I don't know, commit a murder in, like, a certain neighbourhood, you need to have a legitimate reason for being in that neighbourhood in case someone sees you. Just random example. I understand. But all the same, I'd like to escort you two ladies there myself. Wow, an escort like royalty! Isn't he a gentleman? Huh? Yes, he's, lead the way, detective. True to his word, London ushered us past the chattering suits and humming drones through the checkpoints and into the elevator. As it climbed into the sky, we got a good look at the growing throng of people gathered outside. And its shifting makeup. Seems like it's mostly protesters now, or worse, brand loyalists. Idiots led around by the nose their whole life following the musk of whatever trend is laid out to them each morning. Today's trail having led them here for half reasons they couldn't put into words even if their lives depended on it. They're like insects. Interesting. Int elevator day. Why is this described like a script? That's weird. I mean, I really like the style of this game, but what is that saying? And they look like them from up here. They're probably already preparing their spin. The misunderstood genius of Dr. David Asher, a video essay in 5 parts. Why the company insisted on cultivating such a following for him, I've never understood. But they could have easily pinned his achievements on someone more marketable. Some random photogenic employee or a fashion model with glasses. David wouldn't have minded, he never wanted the attention, the chaos. Maybe it's as simple as bad luck. He just happened to have the right look for the part. A man buried in his work, his eyes fixed ahead. This is what? His laboratory? His shop, he called it. How down to earth. It's messy in here. David was always disorganised. Why a programmer needed to make such a mess just to run tests on computers, I'll never... But sloppy as he could be, he didn't like it when other people saw it. If he was leaving things like this, he must not have entertained any guests down here in some time. Thanks for all your help, Detective London. Don't mention it. What, you want me to step out? We won't take long. Not lacking for boldness, are you? Look, I have to take a phone call. We'll be in and out as soon as possible, promise, and whatever Dr. Ash wanted set aside for his foundation, will be sure to flag it. Right. Only she's already wearing gloves. And if we find a dead body, you'll be our first call. Morgan, what was that stuff about his foundation? Dr. Ash's charity has always been managed by an outside group. You haven't spent a lot of time around crime scenes, have you? Actually, this is my first. Well, generally speaking, it's not really common to retrieve things from the premises while the cops are still searching them. Oh. Oh! Look, if David has something to give to me, we can go get it. We just can't make a ton of noise about it, understand? Of course. Great. After you. Right, quiet as a church house. The phrase is quiet as a church mouse, but... Caught myself. I'm okay, I'm okay. But now doesn't seem like the time to correct her. David's shop was a mess, but the mess felt familiar. It was very David. Coming down here, I barely recognised the place. For starters, there's a goddamn gym. David hated exercise, always claimed he didn't have the time for it. Even when I got him that treadmill and the subscription for the personal coaching program with the scheduling subroutine, even when I got him that treadmill, they must have been I assumed that they were a couple, but it was like downplayed publicly or something, because no one is referring... She's the only one who's using any kind of phrasing that implies a very distinct personal closeness. Even the assistant is like, no, maybe like her phrasing is neutral enough that it could be taken either way, because she's someone who would likely have known. But they must have only recently split up, because she's only been working for him for a few years. I wonder if that's what triggered her going on a killing spree. Interesting. Said he couldn't find the time. And then even when I explained to him that the program accounted for that and adapted to his schedule, he's still... Morgan, what's up? You're smiling. What's so funny? Nothing, just surprised to see the place renovated. Yeah, he actually had me on the mail tag with a couple contractors a while back. Never thought I'd have to learn so much about concrete and wiring and marble. Did you know marble needs to be treated or else indoor air can start to corrode it? I didn't know that. Is that true? Wait, is it not? But her guy told me that without an epoxy finish, the entire bar table could... Is that the vault over there, then? Yeah. Stands out, I guess. Nervous? What's that? Oh, a little, I guess. But the inhaler helps mostly, so... Aren't you going to open it? Open it? Don't you know the combination? No, I do not know the combination to David's basement vault. No. Oh, no. How could I... He didn't tell you or give you a code, or... He gave me the code to get into the building. And the parking garage. But not the code to whatever this is. Okay. You know, there are a lot of scattered papers back in his shop. Could he have left you a note on one of them? Yes, he could have. He would have. In fact, I think he probably did. You just stay here, Morgan. I'll have this settled in just a sec. I bet you it's gonna be her birthday or something like that. The date they got together, or maybe the last day he saw her, or something like that. It's going to be something about her, something that she would know that other people wouldn't, as an extra layer of security. You have to ask the right questions. Sounds good. Right then. Well, it's definitely locked. Looks like it's a Tethys Basics Stir-to-Cure anti-hack, anti-digital, high-rated code panel. Nothing basic about it, but at least I can see the password is limited to 6 characters. MORGAN? It couldn't be that, could it? Only 1 million possible combinations. Maybe I'll get lucky. Slim chances, but what the hell, why shouldn't I give it a shot? Try my birthday. Nothing's happening. Okay, that was dumb. Don't really want to dwell on why I thought that could work. Forget it. There's a different terminal over there. Cotter security systems according to the label. Maybe it controls the whole room. Damn, it's password protected too, and the code's 64 digits long. What's the point of a camera system that's harder to crack than your literal vault, you egg-headed... Okay, yeah. A programmer probably would care more about his IoT than whatever he can fit in a safety deposit box. Guess it's a 6-digit vault or nothing. But I'm a lawyer, not a lockpick. Whatever other felonies I get up to in my private time, I've never pulled off a bank heist before. Only tool I've got here is my head. So what do I know? I know whatever David put in his safe he wanted kept secure. I also know that he wanted me to have it. So maybe he thought ahead, maybe he guarded it in such a way that I would be the only one who could get to it. David liked games, and he really liked beating me. But if he's left one last puzzle for me, I don't mind going another round. I mean, just a quick... I love the dialogue in this game. That one was quite clumsy. Because if you say he loved games and he loved beating me, then that sounds like, oh, he loved beating me at games. But if you say he loves beating me, I'll go another round, that makes it sound like boxing, and it changes the beating me into something that sounds a lot worse. Just wanted to put that out there. I'm going to take it to mean beating me in another round of games, but still. Taking a closer look, that is pretty serious looking set of resistance training equipment. And these weights, they're all set near the max. If Noble hadn't appointed a nutritionist along with a stylist, David would be downright scrawny. There's no way he was putting on these numbers. In which case the digits on weights could be a clue. There are too many and I can't guess the order. So what the hell, Asher? Did you just set out all the weights to max because it looked more neat? No, it's because he was testing the strength capacity of his new android that he's made, who he's locked in this vault. Clearly. Of course you wouldn't know that because you don't know the android exists, but you know. The flooring's a new addition. Looks rough like sandpaper, but it's bouncy, rubberized. Feels like something you could drag your feet on at the gym or on a factory floor. It's more high performance than high class. Expensive, but not in the way you'd expect for a penthouse. Well, scratch that. It's actually cracked here. Rubber doesn't break, it bends. That's its thing. So someone must have cheaped out during the installation, left a defect in. That, or David left a jackhammer on overnight. I mean, another iRobot reference. It's like, this is safety glass, you can't just break it. Just wanted to mention that, but no, this is definitely, again, the super strong android we know is in the vault. This must be a spare liquor cabinet. Damn, there's a lot of good stuff in here. And a lot of bottom shelf swill. The kind of bargain bin vodka and nose burner whiskey that only an undergrad programmer could love. Nostalgia sweet like that. Overpowering. 1 part per million can cover up even the cheapest aftertaste. Opposite of sweetest. David's wine collection still towering over the room. Don't know why he'd buy so many bottles. He didn't even particularly like the stuff. Maybe just to fill out those shelves. But not all the bottles are untouched. Some of them don't have dust on them at all. There's a mechanism for retrieving bottles off the rack. The last bottle chosen was a Medichamp 81, could be significant. Except vintages only list the year they were bottled, not the month or days. Not enough digits. It's a very big painting. And it's impressionist? No, cubicle. Yeah, cubicle. That sounds right. Whatever its style, I do remember that David liked this painting. If there was a date on it, there could be a 6-digit password, but I don't see one. Maybe signing a work was considered gauche among the cubicle-ists. Alright, I've searched the whole room now. Time to make or break. Literally 81 is the only one I found. No dice. I feel like there was at least one hint that I came across. Better try again. Cubis? No. Oh, there was one in purple. What was in purple? Can I back out of this? Because I don't remember it. Can I check my phone? 81, 81, 81. Yeah, there was a hint I came... Hang on. Boom. Oh, there she is. So adorable. Right, let's have a look-see. God, I love the way it moves with this. Look, it's like, whee! This might be it. Oh, come back. No. Body count. You cannot ask someone that. Oh my god. Likes trigonometry, rooftops and bonfires. Dislikes sunburned baths and karaoke. Hidden talent baking. Oh. Okay. Alright. Likes dancing, buying shoes, and reselling shoes. Victoria Masters. Interesting. Lawyer to the rich and famous, semi-retired. Right, search terms, big blue painting. This might be it. Predator, Predator. 11:25:58. Is my best bet. 11:25:58. 11:25:58. The date the painting was signed. A password that is and isn't left in plain sight. Nice one. Hey Morgan, What? How did you get it open? What is that? I turned back around just in time to see a door finish swinging open with mechanical grace, revealing a girl with a barcode emblazoned upon her temple. Required by law to be plainly visible. It's an android, clearly marked as such. And yet, even standing this close, I could swear it's snoring? I stepped forward and placed the back of my wrist on the android's brow. Warm. It must be a prototype for the Animate 16. Or maybe a prototype for the 17 or 18? A biomechanical android with real human flesh. Sorry, biomechanical, yes, but it's organic flesh, not human. They're grown from lax Gemini cultures, but Sorry, I misspoke. Right, understandable since... You seem surprised, Jess. Hasn't Noble been working on warm androids like this one for a few years now? Warm androids like this one? I mean, yes, we have. Sorry, it's just that this particular model is very, it's very cutting edge. Bleeding edge, judging by the flush in those cheeks. What I'm confused about is, I thought she knew this was here because she was like, androids? But there are no androids up there. Unless it was genuine, like... No, she wouldn't be surprised about that, because, you know, she wouldn't know that it was a twist coming. I think it's safe to say that we've found what we're looking for. I think so too. That presents a problem then. Oh, do you not, approve? I've got nothing against androids. My concern is a bit more immediate and, well, practical. Practical? Yeah, how are you going to sneak an android out past everyone? I don't know how to turn it on. Oh. Do you see a switch or something? Do you? Can we turn it around, or...? I poked the android's ribs. A little less than I expected, given its frame, but the rigidity is remarkably lifelike. Place my hand on the shoulder and give it a shake. That sounded like a slap, but it doesn't budge. This thing has to weigh more than... Right, androids mostly transport themselves, so people are always surprised to find out they're a bit heavier than they look. A bit? I'm surprised the whole room isn't slanted. There's no way in hell we're moving this thing without waking it up. Crap. First the vault, now this? I was able to guess the combination just by poking around. Compared to that, finding this hunk of junk's power switch should be child's play. And I think I know where to start. Jess, I'm going to step back into the lab for a moment, alright? Huh? Sure, there's got to be a manual around here. Good idea. Might be some kind of prototype, but it's still got a barcode. Maybe you could scan its GIN number and something in the company files. Sure, yeah, of course. All generic ID numbers should be paired with the industry standard files on maintenance tracking power requirements. I somehow doubt that the enigmatic android taking a catnap in a sarcophagus in David Ash's basement will have a user manual. But it can't hurt for her to try, and... I'm okay. Broke heel, but I'm okay. I carry glue. And I'd rather search the lab by myself. Now then, if I were David and I wanted to make sure that only one person would be able to walk out of here with that android, how would I set that up? These appear to be holding tanks for something. How should I know? No labels on anything, typical for a genius, but a nightmare for anyone trying to pick up after him. It's a lot more hard science than I expected in here. Centrifuges and glass and microscopes. Don't programmers all do their work with a keyboard? Looks like a fairly normal computer. If I'm lucky, the security will be fairly normal as well. Boot up complete. Username. Vocal commands. David Asher. Morgan. Guest. Thank you for logging in as a guest. Didn't recognise my voice. So I can probably rule out a vocal command being the key to waking the android. Do you have a question? More than one. For now though, what should I search for on his computer? Morgan. Searching files for Morgan. 23 results on the local drive. I can work with that. Mostly phone book and social data, but I don't recognise this file type. Maybe some sort of personnel format? Date of birth, education, occupation, blood type, height and weight? Alright buddy, a little invasive, don't you think? DNA and fingerprints. Why do you have that, David? My DNA isn't in any database. I've made sure of that. So he couldn't have bought this anywhere. He must have collected it himself for a wine glass or the like. Would have been easy to do. But why do it? Diagrams of human anatomy. The hands are highlighted. The most developed part of the human body, good for making stone axes and sending emails. Robots and frames can do just fine with claws or 3-digit imitations, but androids are expected to look like people and move like them too. Getting the hands right must be a big priority at Noble. That tree-like shape on the right is a neuron. Those branches receive input from varying weight, and if the sum is greater than a certain threshold, the neuron fires. A 0 becomes a 1, and all the other zeros around it take that into consideration. Repeat that a couple of billion times a second and you've got the human brain, a computer powerful enough to simulate all of reality. That's the analogy I read in a magazine anyway. I'm guessing I have to like shake her hand. Haven't seen one since college, but this must be a 3D printer. Of some sort. Feels expensive enough to make other printers look like soda fountains by comparison. But not mess with any of the settings. Alright, I'm starting to get a pretty clear picture of what it takes to turn on this android. I've got the what for the where and how. I'll just have to manage. It's still just a piece of machinery. If it won't turn on, I can always start hitting it. Morgan, there you are. I've looked in every registry I could find, in every database I could get into, but I don't think this android's in the system. It was a long shot, don't you beat yourself up over it. Yes, but an android without the proper identification is... It's only buying or selling an android without proper identification that's illegal. And it doesn't seem like he ordered this one online. I guess you're right, huh? We'll have it registered soon enough, anyway. I think I figured out what we need to do here. Oh? If David really wanted me to have this, he would have left some way for me to turn it on. What are you thinking? David had my fingerprints and my DNA on file. By requiring both, he could reasonably be sure that no one was powering up this android without my approval. So what you have to do is you have to shake its hand while you kiss it. No, that would be weird. You've done a swab before, haven't you? Every month for the company. Apparently they're building a database on employee epigenetics cross-reference with... Oh, so you're gonna... My DNA and my fingerprint make the key. Now, where to find the lock? I'm going to go with hand. There was that diagram back in the shop. Was it meant to be a literal handshake verification? Oh, I thought that would work. Me too. I don't want to go for the chest. I guess I don't really want to go for the nose, so I guess I'm going to try the lips. The lips are one of the most sensitive parts of the body. Not the worst place to make a scan, even if it's gross putting my finger there. Oh, that's... Still not doing it, huh? Come on, do I really need to push my finger deeper, jiggle the key? Oh man, you went right in there. You touching the tongue? It's blinking at me. Oh, nice! I'm very glad I didn't have to stick my finger up its nose. Sarah. Come on in. Long beat. Good morning to you too. That skipped a line. That was 110 and this one's 112. Cute. Hello, I've never seen you two before. I guess we should introduce ourselves then. Hi. This is Jessica Starling. She works for Dr. Asher. I'm Morgan, a friend of his. Got all that? I understand. She is Jessica Starling and you are Morgan, last name unknown. No, Morgan is my last. Father told me about you. Aw, he did? Wait. Father? David. You had it calling you Daddy. I am referring to Dr. David Asher. Are you confused? That's not the word I'd use. I'll throw a bone beyond the grave for the good doctor and just move this along. Did David say that he was giving you to me, transferring ownership? Ownership? That is correct. And what else did mostly correct? Because he doesn't see her as a possession, he sees her as a daughter. It was more guardianship than ownership. Right, and what else did he tell you? Many things. Can you specify? I thought conversation was the first thing David figured out how to program. Did Dr. Asher tell you anything that he wanted you to convey to Morgan? A message you were supposed to pass on? Yes. Jess, I think is trying to... Oh, sure, I'll give you two... I'll give you some privacy, Morgan. I've actually gotten about 14 messages in the last 2 minutes, so... I'll just head back to the lab and take some calls, okay? Thanks, Jess. Yes, thank you, Jess. You're welcome. Just the two of us now. So what do I call you? My name is Sarah. It's nice to meet you, Morgan. Trust me, the pleasure's all mine. So what's the message? Oh, Father told me I would be living with you from now on. He told me you would look after me. Shouldn't it be the other way around? Should it? A model of this lifelike with warmth and breath and something close to blood in his veins. Just what are you, anyway? It's really cool art. You forgot my name already? It's Sarah. What were you built for? You're warm, obviously. You're not one of those physical therapy models, are you? That would be highly illegal. I haven't completed 500 hours of study at a state-approved massage therapy school. I haven't even completed 1 hour. What purpose did Dr. Asher design you for? I don't know the answer to that question. You don't know why he built you. No, should I? How can you not? Do you? Would I be asking you if I did? No, she's saying, do you know the reason you exist? Yes! Ha! I mean, do you know why you were created? Why you were born? Why? Why me? Why would you? Why are you doing this? You're a freak. A monster. What the hell's wrong with you? Please don't kill me. Please, why? Why? Why was a monster like you even born? Pfft, walked into that one.